Hello there, my name is MacHorse, and in this video, I'll show you lots of random stuff that people have been asking about Blockbuster on my Discord server. Keep in mind that those are not beginner's tips. Let's start with a couple of model editor tricks. So first clip shows how to disable limb movement. Yes, there is an old video how to do it, but this clip shows how to do it with new version. Open the model editor panel in the dashboard screen. Open the model you want to edit. Duplicate it and enter a new name. Now, select the limbs you want to disable the movement for, and disable swinging option, and optionally idle. Do it for every limb you want to stop moving. Great, now save the model either by pressing Ctrl+S, or clicking on the floppy disk icon. Now you can go back to the replay, and change the model to this new model. The other frequently asked question about model editor is how do you change the opacity? Select the limb and go to the limb option list. There, you can find a color input field. Click on it and the last slider in the color picker is opacity. Change the opacity to desired value and repeat that step for every desired limb. Save the model, and there you go. You might want to duplicate the model first, instead of overwriting the existing one. This clip shows how to use the new cape model added in the latest Blockbuster update, 2.2.2. It's quite easy to use it. Edit any player model morph, add a body part, pick body limb, and pick the new cape model in Blockbuster models morph category. Its pose should already fit the player's body. If you'll morph into it, then it should work. Almost, the animations are missing. To fix that, simply go back to the body part menu and enable use target for the cape. Now it animates. But what if you wanted the cape to look differently? Well, either place a cape skin into cape skins folder, or copy the texture address of already loaded cape from another player. Something like this. I completely forgot to show in Blockbuster's 2.2 changelog video that you can change any morph's hitbox. Edit the morph, go to common morph settings, and enable custom hitbox there. Under the toggle, you can change hitbox's width, height during sneak, and eye position relative to current height. With this feature, you can change the hitbox of emoticons and chameleon morphs with ease. This clip shows how to place a model block with set block command. Pick up the model block using Ctrl+pick block button, which should be middle mouse click by default. Execute item nbt false command. This will copy item's nbt data to clipboard. Now paste it in a text editor, and remove everything else but the data within block entity tag. Now we need to create a template for set block command. Simply type in the command name until nbt data is required. Copy the template and paste it right in front of the block entity tag. Input it into the command block and execute it. Ta-da! Another useful trick is using morph keybinds to change your speed. Edit your desired morph and give it a keybind. Copy and paste that morph and change its speed and keybind. Once you'll be recording an actor, you can use these keybinds, in my case it's numpad 7 and 8, to change my walking speed. That's pretty much it, although you might remove morph actions from the player recording editor after you're done recording. Sometimes you might need to add item animation, for example bow charging. This could be done using record process command. Record process command allows to use math expressions to process certain parts of player recording data. In this case, we need to process active hands property. Just specify the player recording file name, active hands, beginning tick, the end tick, and factor times 16. This should add item animation to the bow. You can find out more about this command by inputting record process in the chat. And these last 4 clips show more complicated subjects, starting with how to move a scene with camera to another place in the world. Before we begin, make sure you're fully done with the scene, as it can be very annoying to redo this operation again. First step is to write down the relative point from where you are moving the entire scene. Then go to another place and write down the coordinates of the place where are you going to move the scene. Now we need to find the difference between these two positions. I would use Commander mod here to subtract the another point's coordinates from first point's coordinates. This will be the relative scenes shift. Input and copy this difference, and now we can move, or rather duplicate the scene. Duplicate the scene, and rename recording IDs of every actor in a scene to something different. Then, duplicate player recordings using recordDupe command. As you can see, it's a different scene with differently named player recordings, but it has the same actions. Now, we can displace every actor by the relative shift we calculated using record origin command. We can do it by specifying tildes for relative shift, input for every tilde the coordinate, and change its sign from positive to negative, or from negative to positive. Execute this command for every replay in the newly duplicated scene. Once you did it, play the scene, and the actors should be correctly displaced. And finally, we'll need to duplicate and adjust the camera as well. Duplicate the camera profile, and go to modifiers. Make sure it says global modifiers, and no camera fixture is selected in the timeline. You can deselect camera fixture by pressing D. Next, add a translate modifier, and input the relative shift with opposite sign again. And that should be it. Next comes a demonstration of how did I do the desert eagle with cool fire particles coming out of its barrel in the BB tips video. There isn't much to explain, so just watch and learn. And that's how I made it. So someone asked me how to shear a sheep with Blockbuster. Sadly, it's not that easy. The trick here is to edit the sheep to morph into sheared sheep at the moment Steve is, quote unquote, shearing it, and drop the wool with an invisible actor. Basically another watch and learn. And finally, there is a workaround trick to make chests open and close. Let's go. Enable fake player on the actor that interacts with a chest. That should make the chest open, however, not close. To make the actor close the chest as well, the trick here is to place a second chest that actor will open when the first chest should be closed. Add an interact action on the second hidden chest with its coordinates, and now the first chest will close, when it should be. So yeah, that's how it is. Here is demonstration of how the final product looks like. Well, that's pretty much it. I hope some of these were helpful. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.